Night has fallen at the beautiful Carlton, ladies and gentlemen, and we are continuing the Mediterranean menu. It is another course, and Mr. Joyce will explain why haven't you been here yet. And by the way, just a few more days left, so you're going to want to get to downtown Pittsburgh to the beach and Y Mellon Building in the heart of the great city of Pittsburgh.
Oh, Rob, thanks for being here. This is our second course. Again, we've got a choice of 3 entrees. The first one would be our baby shellfish paella, which is lobster, crab, shrimp, scallops, saffron tomato broth, baked mussels, Spanish-style rice, herb crema. Very, very nice dish. We're going to taste in a second. We've got the lasagna roll, cannelons. Catalan lasagna roll, which is a veal Florentine stuffing with wild mushrooms, Parmesan bechamel, and a pine nut Romanesco sauce. Delicious dish. I think you're going to really enjoy that. And the third course we have over here is the bacalao escalavida, which is simply baked cod with marinated vegetables. Very, very nice dish from the Mediterranean coast of Spain. And we're featuring these specials through Saturday, March the 18th. Will be available. 3 courses, $45, with expert wine pairing, $60 a person. So great value, full dinner, a choice of 3 appetizers, 3 entrees, and of course 2 desserts. Great dining at the Carlton to supplement our daily changing menu using fresh seasonal ingredients.
All right, now, I let you do all of this, and now I get to do what I love doing with you, talk politics. I find it fascinating, and I'll tell you, you can learn a lot in the restaurant about current events, and you can meet a lot of fabulous people, and many of them come here. Everybody has been talking a lot, obviously, about the state of Pennsylvania, and the state we are in right now, still looking for cash, okay, in the coffers. Governor Wolf doing everything he can do. The man that tried for 4 years, and I think did a wonderful job, dear friend of both of ours, Shaler native, former Attorney General, guy's done just about everything possible, including helping further law enforcement, done so much for the state police, did not take money away from them, so they are able to continue to serve and protect. He told me at the Duquesne Light Pittsburgh Home and Garden Show last night, as he stopped over with his wife Susie, that a lot of those men and women are going to be retiring, so it's a great career. You should really look into it if you ever considered a career in law enforcement. I just have a lot of passion for Tom Corbin and what he believes in. And he knew going in that he probably would be one term because a lot of tough decisions had to be made. But the infrastructure, the transportation bill, that's on him. That's why all this good stuff is happening and continues to happen with our labor force and with PennDOT. And of course that Shell petrochemical plant, the billions that it's going to dump into the Beaver County economy and the region, and the plants that will pop up. And I believe he, being a professor of law, still teaching, one-time school teacher in the great public schools, they'll be teaching years from now the history of this area, and I believe he will be more than a chapter, an afterthought, as far as, I believe, the second renaissance when it comes to manufacturing. But he didn't get the chance for a second term, and a lot of people are wondering if Mr. Wolf will, because it's tough being governor in Pennsylvania when you don't have the tax base. One of the men that we talked about who is considering that leap to Harrisburg and the governor's mansion is a self-made man, landfill business. He is Scott Wagner. He is from York County. He's a Republican. Tell me about this guy and why you like him so much.
Well, I think it's. I think he's got a very interesting story. He's certainly got fire in his belly, and he's a little bit like Donald Trump in the sense that he was a businessman. Came out of the business sector because he was frustrated with government, frustrated with regulations, how things ran. Again, operator, started driving trucks right out of high school. Didn't go to college, but he self-made man, and drove garbage trucks, had a chance to become an owner, and then grew business. I think he's opened 50 businesses in his lifetime. Very successful, very hands-on operator, but frustrated with the way government was running. And there was a Senate seat, a state Senate seat available. He ran against an incumbent Republican as a write-in, so he wasn't even on the ballot. And he won. He beat an incumbent legislator on a write-in, which is unheard of in this state, certainly. So he gained some notoriety before he served his first day. Came in, and he's really got himself intricately involved for a first-term senator, Republican senator from York. Was very, very much involved quickly. I think the senators in Pennsylvania recognized his gravitas, recognized the fact that he had some cash, and he set about getting other people elected, including locally. Senator Cameron Bartolotta was one of the beneficiaries of his largesse. He financed a lot of Republicans he believed in. He's gotten a lot elected. He ran the Senate campaign last term, last cycle, and he's already announced that he's clearly running for governor. As I say, he's passionate. He's very conservative. He's not a union guy. He doesn't like unions. He was involved in this unemployment situation where the unemployment folks were laid off because of a budgetary squabble over a computer system that they spent millions and millions of dollars for that never produced. But he's got fire in his belly. He's a lot like Wolf in the sense that he's a self-made, wealthy business guy. Unlike Wolf, though, he'll have 4 years in the Senate by the time by the time this election happens. Where Wolf was a guy that had never served, he'd been in appointed positions, but never served as a legislator. Wolf, if you think about his gubernatorial term so far, it has not been successful. He's a Democrat, different view of things, and the Republicans have a large majority. The first two budgets he proposed a lot of broad-based tax increases. Wasn't able to get that done. Had to agree to budgets that were not really what he wanted. He did increase some educational spending. This year's budget, I think, is going to be very, very formidable. He's not proposing any broad-based tax increases, but I don't know how they balance his budget. They're already in a deep hole from the past year. So this is going to be an interesting dynamic getting his budget done. And certainly the future gubernatorial election, you've got a lot of Democratic votes in Philadelphia. But I don't know how much capital Wolf has because he's not a Philadelphia guy. He's not Ed Rendell. He was a guy that Rendell supported. But this is going to be a very interesting gubernatorial race 2 years from now. It's unusual to see the announcement already. There's going to be other Republicans, I think, that surface. We've got one, I think, in this building that I think will be a formidable candidate. She has not announced yet, so I can't talk about her, but I think she'll give Scott a good race. And I think it's going to be a very interesting gubernatorial race.
Let me close on this note, because everybody's talking about people going from the business sector to public service. Obviously, Donald Trump, our president, the 45th, and also a guy in my neck of the woods, State Senator Elder Vogel, a dairy farmer, who has been doing a lot of things and has helped a lot of people further business, and he's all for the middle class. My question is, why do you think it's working in our society today, more now than ever? People who have been successful in their private lives have decided to run for office, and they're being embraced, whether it's in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania or by the country of the United States.
Well, Rob, I just think it's a desire to get away from the status quo. I think we all have a sense that politics, democracy is not really working for us, regardless of whether you're conservative or liberal. You know that there's not a lot of turnover in the legislature. People were gerrymandered in, and they've got that race, and unless they're challenged inside their own party, incumbency is likely to get them reelected. People see, whether it's the state legislature or the national legislature, problems just not getting resolved because the parties are not able to come together, and so this creates an avenue for Donald Trump, for an outsider. You think about Governor Wolf. He's known for his commercial. He ran in a primary. He had a lot of money. So you got to have a lot of money, first of all. That puts a leg up on the guys that have to raise.
You have to know how to fundraise.
Well, you have to have personal money to get other people to contribute. So Wolf had a lot of money, and he ran that commercial driving around in his Jeep. And it kind of caught on. He was kind of Trump before Trump in the sense that
I thought it was a tractor.
A tractor.
Okay.
Was it a Jeep or a tractor? Whatever it was,
it worked.
It worked. I think it was a Jeep. But the point is, he ran an unconventional commercial that kind of introduced him to the state of Pennsylvania, and he ran against McCord, longtime politicians, and he came out as the independent guy, and he got the primary win. Now in the general election, he didn't have to do a whole lot because Tom Corbett was not a popular governor in the sense that people didn't feel that we got enough done.
Governor that got things done.
And I love Tom Corbett, but I'm just saying that politically he had a tough
I'll
place.
kind of come to the defense of Governor Wolf. I just think no matter what your party is, until you start building the tax base up and putting middle-class jobs back on the front page, it's going to be hard for anybody to be governor.
Well, it is, but I mean, sometimes you got to make some tough decisions, and I think that we got into a mentality for years that no taxes could ever go up, and of course, a lot of Republicans signed that pledge. Mm-hmm. And when you sign a pledge like that, you're really signing away what you were elected to do. You were elected to figure out what taxes are right, what taxes are wrong. Broad-based taxation is what it's all about, and I would contend that if you put a slight increase in the personal income tax, people don't notice it except for the first time, and you might solve some problems. Now, of course, at the same time, you've got to scrutinize how you're spending your money, making sure you're doing it right, you're doing it effectively, you're not wasting money, you're not just throwing money at problems. Government's going to be managed closely, and I think we've gotten away from that. But I think Wolf has got a tough battle for re-election, and I could see whether it's Wagner or Senator Corbin or a person that resides in this building, I think they'll have a good opportunity to beat him in the general election.
Now, you know what people are going to be doing? They're going to be seeing who exactly is in this building. They'll be spending a day looking up that name. But listen, I can't thank you enough. I love talking politics. I just love talking business. You are everything that's good in the city of Pittsburgh.
Oh, Rob, it's a great, we've had a great relationship for many, many years.
Many years.
And I'm hoping you enjoy this next course. But it's great to have you here in the restaurant, as always.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is the king when it comes to this business. The great Kevin Joyce, the Carlton. Make your reservations today.
Thanks, Rob.